right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Fantasy Variation. Unfortunately, we don't have a guest for you tonight. It's just going to be me and Colin in the studio, but we still got some good ball talk to give you guys. Doing pretty well tonight. Colin, how about yourself?
I'm good, man. Coming off another fantasy win. I heard you might be doing well right now. You feeling good?
Yeah, fantasy-wise, feeling pretty good. The DAK Street Boys might be back. Don't want to spoil too much yet. I can't get too ahead of myself, though. I did actually fracture my rib, as you heard last Wednesday. So had some ups and downs over this past week. Excited to be back with my rec basketball team here in 4 to 6 weeks or so.
There we go. Yeah, rest up, heal up. You'll be back in no time.
Hell yeah. And this guy right here, he's joining my team to help us get the win, clinch a playoff spot. So rooting for the boys tonight against the Little Lilacs. Let's go get a win.
Let's go. Little Lilacs stand no chance.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that should sum up our basketball talk for. Let's go ahead and throw it over to some football, I guess. Maybe do you want to take it away with your game, or do you want me to go ahead and lead off?
My game's not too important, or no, I shouldn't say too important. It is important, but we got to go to the game of the week. Your game versus Riley. Kick us off there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got screwed up here. And all right, we're back on the screen here. So we had an absolute bloodbath this week from the DAK Street Boys. We win this one about 213 to 74. The league archives are kind of trash on ESPN, so I can't tell for sure, but I've only heard one game in our league's history that's been higher than this from Dean. So shout out to Dean. I think he had like 220 something in 2021, I think is what he said. But the DAK Street Boys doing their best impression of Dean's team from that year, putting up a super high score this week. We can always talk about the Cowboys. I mean, they ended up having a pretty good offensive night, which kind of helped me. But I already had this thing locked up for my 5 guys on Sunday. I mean, everybody just turning in fantastic performances. Chase Brown with 18 was actually my lowest out of everyone on Sunday. Then we had Travion Henderson with 32, Stephon Diggs with almost 20, Tet with 33, newly acquired Tet McMillan, I guess. The trade happened after our podcast last time. And then Trey McBride, Mr. Steady with 27.5. So really just a fantastic week all around for my guys. Like I said, last week I did swap my boy Juwan Johnson and Debo for Tet McMillan. So got a slight upgrade at wide receiver. Debo hasn't been playing super well of late, so I was kind of happy to get rid of him. And Barrett looked like he needed some tight end help, and Juwan Johnson has actually been really solid. He's a guy I still like the rest of the way. And I figured I could help him out by giving him a tight end and a little downgrade at wide receiver. So happy to bring in Tet. He has a huge breakout game in his first debut for the DAK Street Boys. So glad I traded for him when I did, since he probably wouldn't be available anymore. But yeah, happy to get a win here. We have a huge game against Ron this week. The winner of this one will take control of the 6th seed in the league. And last thing I wanted to do is shout out my boys here. We're up to 2nd in points scored in the league after this. So still at 4 and 7, still in 7th place, but always good when you get that points for high up there, and then you can just bitch about it in the chat. So it's always great.
Dude, so many things I got to say about this matchup. First off, great win. Congratulations. You mentioned the standings, points for. I've been monitoring them a little bit just to see, because like I'm up there in points. And I know we pay out for that. I wasn't even considering you. You are 4 points behind me for first place, or not, maybe 6 points. I'm like, what in the world, dude? Absolutely insane. Not to mention, you're in 6th or 7th place right now. You got Ron 5 and 6. Do you still play him? Do you play him this week? Or
we play this week? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, holy crap! What an insane week for you. You're on a 3-game win streak. I don't know. I gotta hype you up. You're feeling good right now. So love to see it.
Hey, I'm always going to allow it. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, we got a huge matchup against Ron this week. The winner of this one's going to take control of the 6th seed, since I lead him in points scored right now. So if I'm able to beat him, I'll jump him into 6th in the standings. So that would obviously be huge. We're looking to maybe sneak into the playoffs here. I'm really going to be kicking myself, though, that before this 3-game win streak, I lost to Tanish like 95 to 85 or something like that. So those are the games you always just wish you had back. We'd have a lot less pressure on us to win out from here. Maybe we can get away with 2-1 if we can get a win over Ron here, but we've got Colin and Dean waiting for us on the other side of this Ron matchup. So it's going to be tough. I think this team's up for the task, but we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves yet. We just got to focus on this week and beat Ron.
Absolutely. All right. Last thing I got to say, we got to talk a little bit more about this trade. I saw that trade go through, and it's a fair trade, kind of. I was so pissed at myself. I'm like, I've been loving Tet McMillan like all year long. I knew he was going to be good at some point. Then you basically you trade him for a wide receiver that on paper looks good. He's averaging 14, but I mean, he's got no quarterback. This offense sucks, and a tight end that you just picked up. Like, Barrett, what are we doing here? Like, come on, man. God, and it's so easy to say that after McMillan just went off and had his official big breakout game. But I mean, McMillan's a top 10 wide receiver rest of the season. I don't know. I'm just upset that you beat me to it. I wasn't even thinking to shop anybody, and he definitely would have been a guy that I would have been looking for. So great trade.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not surprised. I don't even know the last time you made a trade in this league, or maybe any league for that matter. I know you're not really a big trade guy. And I will say, I mean, if Barrett didn't end up going through this trade, I don't know if I really had a lot of other options. I feel like I was looking around for somebody that needed a starting tight end, and he really looked like the only candidate. I believe Tanisha's starting Cade Otton, but he's been playing really well of late until obviously I love him on the podcast. But I really thought Barrett was really the only trade partner that would have worked, and it ended up working out. So we're only 1 week in with Tet, so he could obviously maybe fall off a little bit from here, but happy to get the big week and contribute to the 213-point week. I do just want to show this real quick, ESPN's evaluation of this trade. I don't know if you can see this super well. They've got my team's valuation of this trade getting Ted is a 67, and ESPN's got Barrett at an 88. So they've got Barrett fleecing me in that one. So good call there, ESPN. You really got that algorithm nailed down there.
What in the world?
Sorry, I forgot to add. Juwan Johnson's actually ranked higher than Tet on here, which is quite interesting. But yeah, we'll just move on from there.
Dear Lord, man, that's hilarious. Well, good call out there. Good trade. Good win. We'll see you not this upcoming week, but next week when we play each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not concerned with that yet. I'm concerned with Ron, and I'm surprised you didn't talk about Riley's team at all. I mean, just terrible week all around from his team. Shout out Devontae Adams with the most Devontae Adams stat line of all time: 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So shout out.
Exactly. But yeah, I got nothing more to add. If you're good with it, we'll move on to the next matchup.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll kick it over to a big matchup between me and Dean. Coming into this game, we were both 7-3. I got the win 125-85. Really just got lucky here with Dean's team kind of laying an egg in one of the first ones he's done this season. He's had a couple of low ones, but for the most part, he's been pretty consistent. Definitely doesn't help when Justin Herbert gets 3 points. Been a pretty solid quarterback, and 3 points out of him. Definitely was not expecting that. And then really everybody else, like Jefferson 11, Igbuka 9. Adunze, who's kind of fallen off 6. So really didn't get much from Dean. Then we look at my side. Really happy with McCaffrey. 35 points. Kind of just getting accustomed to it. If he scores below 25, it's almost a down week for him. Then James Cook came back, 20 points. Nico Collins, a guy that's been great again, 24 points. And then the rest of my team really didn't do too well. But I was able to put up 125, and that was good enough to get it done. Most weeks, that's probably right around average, and you're probably going around 500 with that. But we get the win, moved to 8-3, and tied with Kioski for first place right now. So pretty happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I have too much to add on this game. Obviously, you guys are both looking to be playoff teams so far this year. I'm sure with 7 wins apiece. I guess you got 8, so you both have already clinched that playoff spot. So yeah, I'll be excited to see what you guys can do there. Hopefully, I can make my way in there and maybe play a little spoiler. But I will say, you did say 125 was not a great score. That was actually the 3rd highest score of the week this week. I think it was a pretty down week overall for fantasy. Apparently, everyone that popped up was just playing for the DAK Street Boys this week. I wanted to shout out you guys. You guys combined for 210 points, so you almost put up as much as the DAK Street Boys. So shout out, guys. It was a hell of an effort there.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
The only other thing I was actually going to say was Jaylen Warren, dude. Zach called this out last game. Dude, I don't know what I'm watching out there. Like, I actually watched like most, if not all of this game because it was on TV and I had the over. But he had that huge run at the beginning, and then you just didn't see him like basically the rest of the game. I have no idea what to say on him and his usage thus far.
Don't even get me started. Best bet, where I'll even skip ahead to it. Had him over 73. It looked great after like the first or second drive. I'm like, bang, cash it. Doesn't even hit. Don't know what they're going on. I think it's me. It's a curse. I've always hated Najee Harris. I've loved Jaylen Warren, but now it's something with these Steelers running backs, man. I don't know what it is, but
dude, you might be onto something with that Najee Harris take. Maybe we'll have to make our way over to Heinz Field or whatever Acrisure Stadium and rip the curse away ourselves or something like that. So maybe we'll make a trip there next year. I don't think the Lions play them, but maybe the Colts do. Maybe we'll be in store for a nice game and a little curse reversal there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it. All right, which one you want to go to next? I've currently got Ron versus Elgin pulled up. You cool with that one?
Let's do it. I need to be scouting Ron this week.
I know he put up 155 last week to beat Elgin, 155 to about 119. Really good win for Ron. He needed it. 4-6 coming into this week, gets the win at 5-6. Like you mentioned, you're going to be chasing him down the next few weeks, and as long as Josh Allen doesn't put up another 42 bomb, you might have some luck. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Ron's team?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start at the top with Josh Allen. I don't know if there's anyone in fantasy that's scarier to play right now than Josh Allen. I mean, there's not many people in the league that can throw for 3 touchdowns and rush for 3 touchdowns in a game. Actually, I want to say I saw on TV that was only like the 3rd time ever, and 2 of them were him. So he's kind of just a league of his own with like passing and running ability. Yeah, I mean, he's just pretty well-rounded at a wide receiver. Like, I feel like he's got a lot of really good pieces there, especially with Michael Wilson's breakout. It looks like Marvin Harrison's going to be out again with the appendicitis recovery. So looks like Michael Wilson could be in line for another very solid day there. And then he's also got Michael Pittman coming back from a bye. So he might even have a little bit of some decisions to make here with Rashee Rice. Well, obviously you're playing Rice and Nakua, but between Zay Flowers, Michael Wilson, and Michael Pittman, I mean, one of them is going to have to go on the bench. And I feel like those are 5 pretty solid guys right there. The only thing I guess is his running backs aren't super scary, but I will say the only good game that Ashton Jeanty has had all year, obviously, was against the DAK Street Boys. He scored 33.5, but he hasn't cleared 20 besides that game. And I also feel like ETN's been on, I don't know, not like a total skid, but he hasn't really impressed a ton of late. Oh, I guess I stand corrected. His last 3 weeks have been pretty good. He was trailing off a little bit towards like the middle of the year so far. But he has been coming on a lot more. But I was going to say that Bayshaw Tootin is kind of banged up. So maybe ETN is in store for a big game this week. So maybe he does scare me a little bit. I think it should be a good game, though. I think we both have pretty solid teams. Both teams are definitely hungry for a win. So excited for this game. I was already telling you, this might be the biggest non-playoff fantasy game I've had in my career in this league. So we're ready for it. We really need a win right here.
Absolutely. Yeah, two good points there. ETN with Tootin. If Tootin's healthy, I love that guy. I've been picking him up in a couple of my leagues. So I'm really hoping he's healthy. But then Michael Wilson, I saw him on waivers in a couple of leagues, and I was like, Cardinals wide receiver. I don't even want him. Like, that offense sucks. But dude, 33.5, great pickup by Ron. He picked him up on Friday. Didn't even have to make a claim for him on the standard Tuesday night. And yeah, it might be a decent flex play for him. So good pickup by him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Jacoby Brissett's going to complete 40 passes every game, but I mean, it's still good to see that he's definitely like the number one out there, at least at the wide receiver position. Obviously, they've still got Trey McBride, but hey, Michael Wilson even out-targeted him this last game. So it seems like he's super involved. I'm expecting it to stay that way this week with Marv out again.
Absolutely. I got nothing more to add on this game. You want to pick the next one we go to?
Damn, tough blow for Elgin. Yeah, not much more to add here. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I guess let's move over to maybe the last game where we had a 100-point score here. We'll move over to Barrett Nichols' game. Barrett's able to get the win, 103-95. I believe this puts them at a tie now in the standings at 6-5. So I want to say they're tied for 4th place. We've got you and Zach up top at 8-3. Dean with 7 wins, and then these two with 6.
Yep.
So narrow win for Barrett here. This is now the 5th loss in a row for Nichols' team. So yeah, those low consistent scores have finally come back to bite him a little bit here after dropping 5 in a row. But shout out Barrett, another win. Deebo Samuel has a good week for him on his first week on the roster. So I'm sure he was happy to see that, even though Ted had a big blow-up game. Tough blow, though, for Drake London, obviously now being out for at least a week. It's seeming like maybe 2 or 3, actually, from what I've heard. So that's obviously going to be a tough blow for him because we've always talked about how he doesn't have a whole lot of depth. Though I will say he always has Jackson Smith and Jigba and Saquon Barkley, and those are 2 of the guys you're scared to play any given week. So I feel like Barrett's always going to be a threat to go pretty far in the playoffs. I feel like he's pretty much got his spot secured. Just needs one more win at the minimum, probably to get that last spot or to secure that spot in the playoffs. So yeah, I really think I could see Barrett making a run. He's got to avoid these injuries, though. I think the Drake London thing is going to be killer. Like, if that was lingering on into the playoffs, like, that's going to be brutal. As for Nichols' team, we'll see. He's just been on a skid. He's getting Bucky Irving back here, but Sam Laporta going out now. He's had a tough bout with injuries this year, or quarterbacks getting injured as well. So I know it all too well. I'm sorry, Nichols.
Well, and then he's got Jamar missing this week too.
I forgot about that.
Spits on whoever it was. Like, goddamn, I'd be so pissed off if I was the Jamar Chase owner, especially right now.
Did you see he appealed the suspension too?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta add another name on for that, bro. Like, why are you lying and trying to appeal it when you did it? Just own it and move on. They got to tack on another game for that, maybe two. So lost a little respect for him there, but oh well. Sure.
Yeah. The judge's name was Jordy Nelson, not the Packers wide receiver Jordy Nelson. The judge Jordy Nelson. Thought that was funny.
Is that not him?
I don't think it was.
I thought he's like the head of the Players Association.
Oh, maybe I'm totally wrong there. Maybe it actually was.
I think it is.
Never mind.
I'll get our statistician on that one.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit it all. Nichols, man, I'm sorry. I mean, text the group and he's like, hey, can somebody beat me? I feel bad not scoring enough points as he was 6-0 and 5 straight losses, man. It's getting rough for him. So good luck to him, but it's not looking good for him. Also, I did want to ask, were you not gonna call them out? They didn't match your total score. This matchup had like less than 200 points in it.
Nah, that was just safe for you.
All right, fair enough. All right, we'll kick it over to the last matchup. Again, I'll make the call here. They only scored 170 combined, so did not score more than you did. But Kioski beats Tanish 89-84. Feel like we're beating a dead horse here. Again, Tanish does not have a really big week again. Stays under that like 100-point threshold there. And I mean, Zach, huge win for him, not putting up any points really. I mean, 90 points is not going to get the job done a lot. But gets it done. Lamar, his quarterback, I'm a little worried for him. I mean, of course it's Lamar Jackson, but does not look that good. You're never going to bench Lamar, obviously, but I mean, 4.72, that's definitely a tough week coming out for him. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm too worried about Lamar. I mean, his last 2 games have not been impressive. They were against very good defenses on the road, and he's got a very nice schedule coming up. Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. We'll say the last 2 weeks of the playoffs, he's got Patriots and Packers, so maybe not fantastic matchups you're looking for there, but from here to like week 15, the wheel should be up for Lamar, so we'll see if the Ironheads can ride that wave. And yeah, the other guy you got to talk about is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I believe he had 11 targets in this game, I want to say. 12, and he had 2 catches. So, yeah, very, very uncharacteristic game for Amon-Ra. He actually had a couple drops as well in this one, so hoping him and Goff can get on the same page for the Lions standpoint. Obviously, they just came off of another loss, already the 4th one this year after losing 2 last year. So, yeah, we'll see how he can rebound. I definitely wouldn't expect games like this out of Lamar and Amon-Ra going forward. And then even Achane, I mean, how many times is 21 under what you're projected? But I expected more from him against the Commanders defense, honestly, and he didn't even perform. So lucky he got away with a win here against Mango, and he didn't see him in a week where he's dropping his 160. So
absolutely. Yeah, I'll be rooting against the Ironheads here the last few weeks, hoping he drops one. But honestly, I mean, we can both get by. So kind of competing against him. I guess we do have a payout for best record. So be rooting against him, and then Tanish. I don't know if we mentioned it. He'll be fighting with you, trying to sneak into the playoffs there. But on paper, your team looks a lot better. So we'll see what happens. That's why they play the games.
Exactly. Yeah, and you got to talk about Josh Jacobs too, I guess. I mean, it's not even confirmed, I guess, if he's going to be out this upcoming week or whatever. But yeah, even if he's playing, I guess, tough matchup against Minnesota. But yeah, if he's out, I mean, he's got like no depth at RB. I mean, he's got Tyler Algier, Kenneth Gainwell, and Nick Chubb on his roster. So yeah, not great there. We'll see if Josh Jacobs can suit up this week. I will say I do have Emmanuel Wilson, so usually I would say something like hopefully not. Maybe he takes the week off, but I'm not even going to play him. He's playing the Vikings, so really don't care if Jacobs plays or not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I picked up Emmanuel Wilson in one of my leagues, and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of hoping Jacobs doesn't play, but I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
Are you thinking about playing him in that league or no?
Maybe we'll get to that at some point. I got a question for you later on. So
All right. And yeah, I was going to say real quick about this game. This is where I got the idea of saying like, oh, I outscored you guys matchup, because Zach texted this like in the middle of the day Sunday, or maybe like early in the game Monday night. He's like, dude, Tommy's about to blow out our game like combined or whatever. So
it was insane. Great week for the DAK Street boys.
hell yeah. See if we can ride the wave.
Love it. All right. You good to go to Love Hates, recap those?
Yeah, not the best week for me this week, but we're ready to roll. I can go ahead and recap mine first.
Sure.
So I went 1-2 this week, bringing me to 15-12 on the season. I love Chase Brown. This has become an infinite money glitch of late, but they did move him up to 12 this week, so I don't actually have him this time around. But he crushes, maybe not crushes, but he beats RB18 again, finishes as RB12. So happy to see that. My other two picks, not as great. Cade Otton only able to secure 2 catches when the Buccaneers score like 30-some points against the Bills. Little unfortunate there. He finishes as tight end 28, not above tight end 13. And then DK Metcalf, another tough one here. Had him at 31. He finished at 32. So, yeah, tough break there. I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, brutal break there. You mentioned Chase Brown. I was going to take him this week too, but 12 was just a little too high. I still love him this week, so we'll see what happens there. As for mine, went 1-1. I will take that. We moved to 8-17 on the season. Love Travion Henderson, running back 22. He finished as the RB3. Hated CJ Stroud at QB6. He did not play. So void that one. And then my mom, she loved Ashton Genty at RB7. Finished as RB30. I was backing her. I like to play. It was going to be hard to get, but we didn't get there. So we'll take the 1-1 and move on to move on to this week real quick. Yost did go 1-2. He had a good play with Levin T. Higgins at wide receiver 20. And he finished at wide receiver 15. So good pick for him there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And I want to say, if we're going to get technical here, I mean, you went 1-0 this week. I mean, heck of a week for you right there.
Nah, we trust Kristen. She got me the win the week before. So went with her again, and we're going back to her again today. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't think you're on Ashton Genty today, but man, I honestly should have been on him. We were just talking about how the only big game he's had all year was against the DAK Street boys, and he's playing him this week. I'm sure he's due for a big week, but he's not on my list, unfortunately. But I'm just letting you know, pencil him in for a 25 piece.
Very fair. You want to kick us off on Love Hates this week?
Yeah, I can do that. All right, yeah. So my first one, shout out your team, I guess, and shout out to Emma's team as well in the Family League. I'm going to love Zach Charbonnet this week at RB30 against Tennessee. Really, the main thing that this comes down to is just playing the Titans. I mean, it's going to be a great game script. I want to say they're like 2 touchdown favorites in this one, even on the road, which is absolutely absurd and still something that I'm not even like, oh, I want to bet the Titans here. Like, I don't want to bet on either side, I guess, of that one. And then also the Titans have allowed the 8th most fantasy points per game to running backs this season. Obviously, they're always trailing, so the other team is always running on them. So the running backs are going to have pretty good days. And then he's like, the Charbonnet Walker thing has been kind of weird all year. They have been kind of close. I want to say Walker was ranked at 22 and Charbonnet was 30. So I really just wanted to go with Charbonnet because he's lower on the list. He's only been out-touched by Walker 47-36 over these last 3 games since the bye. I feel like it's always a toss-up who's going to score those touchdowns, and I feel like they could be pretty abundant this Sunday. So I'm going to love Zach Charbonnet, though I also do love Kenneth Walker. I'm just going to go with the cheaper option.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So I want to ask you a question. I saw you picked Charbonnet. I don't even know how to word this. My team is a dumpster fire. Would you start Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker this week?
What are your options?
Currently I've got Christian Watson for the Packers, wide receiver. I got Tajay Spears, Trey Tucker. That's about it. Everybody else is on buys.
Oh, Trey Tucker's playing the Browns too, isn't he? And then
Yes.
Watson's playing the Vikings. Jeez, dude. Yeah, I might, even though that sounds horrible. It's like, I don't know how often they're both having like that great of a day or whatever, but it is against Tennessee. Like, you could definitely do worse with the matchup. I feel like they're both going to get 10+ touches. I thought the original question was going to be him or Emmanuel Wilson. And I was going to say still Emmanuel Wilson, even though the matchup sucks. But
I messed up. I thought I had Wilson in this league. I don't.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would still say probably yes, just because of the options, but yeah, I don't know if I'd be thrilled. I'm guessing you're not either based on the tone.
I mean, we do have some other options in my starting lineup currently. I got Judkins, I got Woody Marks, I got JMO. So it is really rough right now.
Oh man, yeah, I feel like you got to play JMO, and Woody Marks has just got such a good matchup this week against the Bills. It's going to be hard to bench him and be like, oh, I'm going to play both the Seahawks running backs.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on next week's podcast what happens here. I will mention this is a league with a punishment, and I am playing the other guy that is in last. If I beat him, he is for sure locked in to the punishment. If he beats me, I'm still a game up, but he's got me on points scored, so I might be sweating. Ooh. So it's a huge matchup this week.
Yeah, we got a big battle here. Yeah, I would say probably play Walker and bench Charbonnet, even though I just love Charbonnet, but
yeah,
tough spot.
We'll see what happens, but like the pick though. All right, for my first love hate, we're gonna switch it up, and we're gonna start with Kristen's pick that I also love. We're gonna love Nico Collins at wide receiver 10 versus Buffalo. We got Davis Mills starting again for the Texans. The past two games with Mills, Collins has put up 22.6 and 24.2. So obviously great numbers. He's had 15 and 10 targets. The 2 weeks prior to that, some were Stroud, but he had 11 targets and 10 targets. So definitely on the up and coming from the pretty rough start earlier this season. So I know 10's a lot, but I mean I anticipate this Texans team having to throw a lot against the Bills and potentially being a high scoring game. So 10's going to be a tough mark to hit, but I'm rocking with Kristen. We're going for Collins over 10.
Yeah, I don't think I have much more to add here. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with seems like a really good spot on paper. Like they're probably going to be trailing the whole game. And like you said, I mean, he's been killing it since Davis Mills has been starting. I'm not saying he's better than CJ Stroud. They had that game against the Jags where they literally threw like for 3.5 quarters straight or whatever. So obviously that's going to fudge the numbers a little bit, but he's looked great. And so has even like Jaden Higgins. Like the whole passing game is open up, or at least the fantasy points are coming to the wide receivers now with Davis Mills being in. So I don't know what's been changed about their game plan. I mean, he's obviously not as talented or as good of a thrower of the football as CJ Stroud, but it does seem like they've been able to get it to their wide receivers a little bit better since he's come in. So yeah, we'll see. I do like this pick. And like I said, I mean, they're a touchdown underdog, so you're going to expect them to probably be throwing heavy again.
Absolutely. That's what we're hoping for.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw it over to my next one. I've got 3 loves this week, I guess. So no hates. We're in a pretty good mood, I guess. I'm going to love Kayshon Boutte at wide receiver 36 at Cincinnati. I didn't write this down as a pun when I wrote it down, but I wrote the Bengals are Booty, which I didn't realize was basically his last name there. But anyways, on Kayshon Boutte, he was a full practice participant. He's missed either the last game or 2 with an injury. But like I said, he's already back at practice. He should be ready to roll on Sunday, then back at that surefire wide receiver 2 role that he's had on the team so far this year. And then the 3 games right before his injury, he had 26.3, 13.5, and 16.5. So it's not coming on a lot of targets. He's been getting a lot of touchdowns, but it seems like Drake May's looking for him down there in the end zone. He's been getting some of those valuable targets. So I expect him to have a big play here against the Bengals. And if he does, he should crush this wide receiver 36 mark, even though I think I need him to finish top 30. Still got confidence in my guy.
Absolutely, man. I mean, on paper, you look at this game and you're like, oh, Patriots are definitely at risk of just blowing out the Bengals here. But I honestly think it stays pretty close. So Drake May is still going to be throwing. And like you mentioned, I mean, wide receiver 30, that's super low. He's had great weeks before it. So I'm rocking with you. I like the pick. All right, my second love hate. I just had it. Where'd it go? We're gonna love our boy Travion Henderson. Same game, sticking with it. Ideally, this game, I think it's going to stay close, and I also think it's going to be a high-scoring game. They, knock on wood, finally have seen that Travion is the most talented, probably most talented skill position player on this team. So I don't know if I mentioned he's RB16 this week against the Bengals. I just think that's too low. I think it's time for him to be a top 10 running back the rest of the season. And we're going to trust it against this abysmal Bengals defense. So loving Travion at RB16.
Yeah, not much more to add. Again, you texted me before the show and said, do you want Travion this week? Because I'm going to love him otherwise. And I was like, yeah, but I'm too scared to take him because he's on the DAK Street Boys. So I love him. I'm going to be rooting for him, but not making it an official play. And we'll see. Maybe you haven't been the hottest on the love hates this year, but maybe Travion's just your guy and he's got another one in the chamber for you. So I'm hoping for it.
Absolutely. And I mean, I took him last week too, and it worked out for you. So maybe it's a good thing if I'm taking your guys. We'll see.
Excited.
There we go.
All right. Well, over to my last pick then. I'm going to keep this one super short. Juwan Johnson's at tight end 15 versus Atlanta. Disrespectful. Move him up the list. That's going to be no problem.
You're simply just saying this to make your trade look better. Like, don't even try and do that.
He is the second receiving option on a team that has looked like barely competent. I do not understand how they rank him this low every week. That's going to be a smash. No question. He's finishing above that.
I'm messing with you, but no, I like it. I got no more to add. Tight end 15, he's beating that. All right, my last love hate. We're sticking with 3 loves as well. We're gonna love my boy Alec Pierce at wide receiver 25. They're in Kansas City. I am simply taking him because I believe that the Colts are gonna need a lot of big plays in this game. I'm not touching the spread. I'm excited for this game. I'm a little worried. I mean, the Chiefs, this is kind of a do or die game for the Chiefs right now. They're sitting, I think, at like 5-5 or something around there. And they're on the outside looking in at the playoffs at the moment. Will they finish that? No. But it's a massive game for them in terms of the AFC standings. And the Colts are gonna have to show up here. The past few games, Alec Pierce has put up 17.5 and 18.4 with 13 targets and 7 targets. He is such a deep threat. I don't have any stats on the Kansas City defense. Haven't even looked at that. But he's been really good as of late, and we're going to need some deep plays or big plays. So I'm rocking with him, wide receiver 25. Let's go.
This was actually one of the picks I was eyeing as well when I was going through the list. Yeah, I love this pick. I think it's definitely a good spot for him to have a big game. And do you know what time this game is at? Did you say?
It's freaking 1 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. I think I was just expecting this thing to be a night game. And so I was like, oh, night game, big game, Alec Pierce. Yeah, maybe not for that, but I still like this pick. I think he's got a good chance of scoring. I think this should probably be a super competitive game. I was going to say high scoring, maybe not high scoring, but it should be competitive. I feel like they're going to be trying to get him the ball like they have been all year. So yeah, I love this pick.
Speaking of high scoring, I was very surprised. The over-under is at 50.5. I mean, it makes sense. Both offenses are really good, but I'm like, oh man. I mean, this game, I feel like it's going to be a close one, and I didn't necessarily anticipate it being that high. I guess it makes sense, but I was very surprised by that too.
I missed that, honestly, when I was looking for best bets. Yeah, that does seem pretty high. I guess Patrick Mahomes and Jonathan Taylor are participating in the football game. But yeah, I feel like these are both some pretty solid defenses. I feel like they should put up a fight against these offenses. So I guess we'll see on Sunday.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully we can sweep these love hates this week.
Yep, like we do every week.
Exactly. All right. We're gonna skip over trivia this week. We're gonna push it to next week. We're gonna have a banger of a trivia question next week, so don't worry. But we'll recap best bets real quick. I went 1-1. Already mentioned Jaylen Warren. I finished with like 65 rushing yards. I had him over 73, so we take the loss there. But Titans plus 7.5. That was a good bet there. It actually ended up closing at like, I want to say 4.5 or 5.5 with injury news, but took it early in the week, got it done. So 1-1, lost a little bit there, but we're still up over 5 units this season. So
yeah, that was a great call getting that one before Stroud got ruled out. I want to say I saw it at 5.5 when it was closing. Mm-hmm. So I ended up actually taking the money line in this one, which I felt pretty good about. Like I felt like the Titans had a really good chance. They played the Texans really well. It actually seemed like there were a couple of just like broken plays by the Texans that I saw on Twitter after where like if the receiver and like it wasn't even Cam Ward's fault. Like sometimes the receiver would like not be on the same page or like fall down, like stuff like there were just a bunch of fluky things like that kind of kept them from winning this one. So tough blow there, but great call on the Titans plus 7.5. And then yeah, we already talked about Jaylen Warren.
Yep.
Trade Mike Tomlin
on Titans.
Trade Mike Tomlin. Trade Arthur Smith. I don't care.
Right.
All right, yeah, I guess I'll talk about mine then. Man, we've just been bleeding out these last like 3-4 weeks or so. Like I've just been losing like pretty much one unit every week. This one we lose 0.62 because the Bears money line one had a little juice. This one got way scarier than it needed to be. This thing was locked up through like 3/4, and then JJ McCarthy did the same crap he did against the Bears the first time around, where their offense looks like a middle school team for 3/4, and then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter, they're only down by like 3 points or whatever. So it ended up being a lot closer than I thought, but that one we're able to still get the win there at plus 140. Lions money line, nothing to add. Bengals Steelers over 49.5. That one ended up missing, and I was kind of bummed about this one because the weather ended up being super windy there, and it actually ended up almost hitting as well. So I think Vegas only dropped it by a point, though, so maybe they didn't think the wind was going to be a huge factor. But yeah, tough blow when you got the over, and then you can clearly see people's like pants and hair just like flailing in the wind while you're watching the game. So I shouldn't say that really stopped this one from being over. The Bengals played horrible, but yeah, another loss there, and we went down 0.62 units this week, up now just a 1/4 of a unit now on the year. But hey, we're still in the green.
Still in the green, baby. Yeah, that Bengals Steelers game, man. I mean, first two drives, or first drive for each team, they both scored in like 2 minutes. Was looking good. Then basically stalled out for like an entire 2/4, and then it got real close. Bengals threw a pick six or a fumble for a touchdown for the Steelers, and I was like, oh crap, we got a chance here, and then finished just short. It was a great read, but sometimes it happens. So we move on to next week.
Did you see too that the Bengals were kind of marching down the field like at the very end of the game, and then they even got in the red zone, and then they kind of just like stalled out or whatever? I was like, dude, you're right there. Got to find a way to punch that in.
Yes. It was so frustrating, but good read.
Oh well, yeah. And then Zach's bets as well. He went 1-1 last week. Great call with the Panthers, plus 3.5. Underdog winner on the road there. So great call on the Panthers. Bryce Young had probably his best performance on the year, and obviously Tet did as well. So shout out. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, though, they did not cover the minus 4.5 and didn't even end up winning this one. So I think the Chiefs fell to 5-5, I want to say, on the year, which is crazy to even say out loud. And they're on the outside looking in for the playoff picture. So, man, Denver just keeps finding a way to win these games. I haven't been like super on the Denver bandwagon this year or anything like that, but man, they just keep putting up wins. It's hard to deny it at this point.
Yeah, man, it's gross. Bo Nix does not even look that good, but I'm all for it. I was all over the Broncos and Patriots team totals this year, and they're looking great. So love to see that. Sorry, don't love to see that for Zach, but love to see the Denver win. All right, into the best bets for this week. I think we both got 3. So you want to kick us off or me?
Yeah, I guess I can go. My first one I've got for this week, I've got Bills minus 6.5 at Houston on Thursday Night Football. I want to say this one was at -6, and I ended up just moving it to 6.5. I feel like the Bills are in a really good spot after a great game last week to just keep things rolling here against the Texans, who, albeit have a very, very good defense. We'll see if they can put some pressure on Allen and make him a little uncomfortable. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, for me, that wouldn't be too bad since Ron's got him. But I feel like the Bills are just going to keep things rolling here against a pretty bad offense in Houston. Winning by a touchdown, I don't think should be a huge concern. We'll see, though. I think there's a lot of money on the Bills spread in this one, so maybe it's a bit of a trap, but I'm still going to rock with it. And if it ends up missing and Josh Allen doesn't have a great game, then, oh well, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was looking ahead at the game script. Nico Collins and Woody Marks are each scoring a touchdown, and that's the only points the Texans are going to get. I saw James Cook is going to rush for 4 touchdowns this week. So it's going to be awesome. Bills are going to take this home 28-14 on the Thursday night for us. So I love the pick.
Damn, they already leaked the script. That's crazy.
I know. It is kind of nuts, kind of unfair, but hey, we're giving out this information for free. So
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with my first pick, we are going to go to the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5 against Las Vegas. It's in Vegas. Long story short, the Raiders should never be favored in a game. I get it. It's against the Browns. But we got Shador starting this game. I mean, yes, he did not look good last week. But I love him. I like him to get on track here in this game against arguably one of the worst teams in the league. And just getting 3.5 points. I love that. And I really just think they're going to have a good game. It's gross. I don't have any stats to back it up. But Browns are going to keep this close. It might be like a 6-10 game. Browns win, but we're rocking with it.
Yeah, dude, I love this pick. I told you this was almost one that I went with, and hey, could be perfect timing right now to
Come
rock with
on.
Shakur and the fellas. So yeah, I like this pick. I will say though, if this game is on TV and it's the only option at 1 o'clock, I'm gonna pull my hair out. So
Colts Chiefs, man. You got something else to watch. Colts
is it
Chiefs are
though? I mean, dude, if they only got one
actually
1 o'clock game, Brown no, and the Bengals probably play at 1 too. Yeah, you guys are
God,
good.
you're right. You're right. Dude, all right. So can we go back to that? The Colts, they have no primetime games. Their only primetime game was a freaking Germany game at 9:30 in the morning. They did flex one of the later games to a night game later this year, but like, come on. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like this game had to have at least been moved to 4 o'clock. Like, what are we doing, NFL?
Yeah, you will watch the Raiders and you will like it.
Yeah. Screw the NFL, man. Brutal.
I actually saw something online. I want to say it was on Pardon My Take. I think PFT commentator said something like halfway through the year, like week 10, like the fan, like there should be a blacklist for like night games or whatever. Like there should be like 8 to 10 teams where it's like we do not put them on night games after week 10. I was like, that is a fantastic idea. Like the NFL actually does need to look at something like that.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, I think that swings me over to my second pick here. We're going to stick with the Bears again, -2.5. We're going to ride the hot hand with them. The only thing I've really got on this one is I guess I do think the Bears are the better team, so I'm happy to just take them -2.5 at home. And then Rodgers is also questionable with that left wrist fracture. So, I mean, this line could even be on the move if he ends up missing this game. I feel like a lot of signs have pointed to him maybe being okay for this one. But like I said, I feel like if he's out for this one, this should be way more in favor of the Bears. So I'm happy to grab him out -2.5. Because like I said, even if Rodgers plays, then I still feel like this is a good bet to take. So
yeah, you got the protection there with a game-winning field goal if it's tied. So So I like that. Really, I don't have many opinions on this. I do think the Bears are a little bit of pretenders right now. They're currently third in the playoff standings, and I definitely don't think they stay there. But yeah, this Pittsburgh team, I don't know. I already gave some opinions on the running back game and what all they're doing there. So I like it, and I'll be riding with you.
hell yeah, and hey, it's another case of, I mean, if the Bears, well, I guess I should say if they win 1 or 2, it's not going to be good. But if they end up losing this one, then it's like, hey, oh well, the Lions can maybe make up some ground on them. So maybe hedging my bets a little bit with these best bets here.
Exactly. There we go. All right. So my next pick, we are gonna go with the Bengals against the arguably they're like the best record Patriots. We're gonna tease them up to +10.5. We're gonna buy 3 points there, and then we're gonna take the over 46.5 as well and parlay this. The regular over I think is at like 49.5. So we're going to take it under 47, and our total parlay odds are going to be +148. I couldn't make up my mind coming into this. I loved Bengals +7.5. I loved the over in this game. You look at Bengals home games this year, they are 5-0 to the over, averaging 68 points in these games. You heard that correctly, 68 total points. So obviously I love that. And then with the spread, obviously the Patriots have been awesome. Me and you both have been huge fans of them this year. Love them. But at the same time, I don't know. I get a weird feeling here that this game stays close. The Patriots are like top 2 record-wise in the league. But really, if you really look at this team, I don't have them in my top, I don't know, 6, 7. So I think they're getting a little too much here. And really, I'm really hoping that the Bengals can keep this close and throw a few bombs to T, maybe Chase Brown for you, and just hang in there with them. And then also as well, I'm rooting for that too, just so Drake May and Travion can get points too. So we'll see what happens. I will definitely be mad if the over doesn't hit, because I was probably leaning towards Bengals +7.5. But this is the first time I think I've done this year where I've teased a game like this. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I told you as well. I like this pick. Yeah, I do like the idea of just kind of teasing both them down. Like I do like just like straight up the over in this one. Like you said, I mean, I read off all those Bengals game stats last week. I just unfortunately picked the over in a game where they were playing on the road. So I didn't realize they had the crazy split like that. So obviously I'm going to like the over. And I actually also like the Bengals to cover in this one too. Like you said, the 7.5, they're also at home. And like, this might be like the third best team the Patriots have played all year. So I feel like we haven't really seen them be like super battle tested. And this might be one of their toughest games. So We'll see if they can make another statement win here on the road and cover that 7.5. But yeah, I feel like I like both those bets straight up. So if you're going to tease them a little bit and parlay them, I'm going to be riding.
That's a great point. This honestly might be the third best team that they've played this year, which sounds insane seeing how bad the Bengals have been without without Burrow. But you're totally right. So we'll see what happens. Go Bengals, baby.
Yeah, I actually was looking at, I don't know exactly if they're like, I put the Bengals at third, but I remember looking at this like not that long ago, and I was like, this actually might be the easiest schedule I've ever seen. Like, I know how they make the schedules. Like, they got last, they're in a bad division. Like, I get it, but I was just like, dude, like, this might be the best break any team has ever gotten with scheduling. So we'll see how they look come playoff time, but they've still been impressive nonetheless. You can only play who's in front of you.
Exactly. I agree. All right, take us home with your last best bet.
Yep. I don't know if I have a ton to add on this one. I will say I just do like this pick, but it comes back to kind of your thing. And I forgot to bet on the Texans-Titans under. I'm still pissed at myself because I forgot to bet it. But we have another divisional matchup here with a very low over-under. It's not under 40, though, so I don't know if this is going to be a lock. Getting those extra points maybe isn't good because then it doesn't make it as big of a lock. But I've got the under 41.5 in the Vikings-Packers game. I just think both these defenses are very, very good, and both these offenses have looked like complete shit. So I feel like this over-under total was higher than I expected. I expected it to be kind of in the high 30s, kind of like you alluded to with some of those divisional games with good defenses. Usually you see that in the AFC North when they play each other, but this time around we've got it in the NFC North. So, yeah, I really like the under here. I don't even see the Vikings scoring like 2 touchdowns worth of points on the Packers defense. Like, their offense has looked rough, and yeah, we'll see. The Packers play down to competition. Maybe that's a thing to worry about, but yeah, I don't really like either of these two offenses going up against some pretty great Ds.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to say is the Packers offense is probably the more scarier one, but we mentioned it earlier. Jacobs might be out, might be rocking with backup running backs, which is obviously good for our under here. I got nothing more to add. 2 great defenses and some pretty abysmal offenses lately, so I like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty now with this pick, 9's going to come out and have a hell of a day. I can already see it.
Right. All righty. With my best bet, my last best bet, we're going to go to the one and only Lions. Team total over 30.5 against the New York Giants. Yes, 30.5. That is a ton of points. But we're going with the old reliable. They're coming off a tough loss. And Dan Campbell's gonna get pissed off and hang 40 on the Giants. That is my only analysis for this game.
Yeah, you bet on the Lions after they lose. They haven't lost back-to-back games since 2022. So we'll see if they can keep the streak going against the Giants.
Absolutely, baby. Take it home. All righty. I think that wraps everything up. You got anything else you want to add for this week?
Man, I don't think I have anything tonight except for go beat those damn Lilacs, man. Let's get a playoff spot.
Yeah, there we go. We'll give an update next week, but yeah, rest up and heal that rib.
Absolutely.
All righty. As always, good luck to everybody in the Shovel Mitch League. Go Lions. Go. Who else we're rooting for this week? Bengals and Patriots players.
The DAK Street Boys.
The DAK Street Boys. Yeah. Shovel or feed me CMC. And then as always, bleed blue.